So this, the V1X by JoyUsing, is the best visualizer for science demonstrations. So I'm a science teacher, and one thing I really find invaluable having a visualizer is you're able to show students the apparatus that you're using really exactly the same way as they're using it. You aren't relying on diagrams to show them how to put this into that. You're actually showing them the apparatus that they're going to use. For me, especially as a physics teacher, for example, showing a calculator screen and being able to show how all the button presses work so that students can do complicated calculations on these really powerful calculators without having to show them some mock-up or kind of describe what it's doing. Actually show them how to do that with the same apparatus that they're going to use. It's invaluable. And this one's good, the V1X, because it's crystal clear. And in fact, the first thing that my students said when I set this particular visualizer up is, wow, that's clearer than any visualizer I've seen before. You've also got that zoom function, which is particularly useful for science experiments. It's got this lossless 12 times optical zoom. So that's real elements, real lenses actually moving within that camera housing to produce that optical image quality. It's got a really nice wide field of view, and you can comfortably get full sheet of A4 or even larger underneath that visualizer. You can vary the angle of the camera module. Maybe you want to draw attention to a particular part of the apparatus or a particular measurement the student's going to make. You could actually zoom in onto the scale to draw really close attention to the way in which the student is going to use that piece of apparatus. And the nice thing about this visualizer compared to all others is it has this 5-inch LCD screen on top. I've never seen that before on a visualizer, but it's really useful, not because you desperately need to see what you're doing as you're writing, because you obviously are going to look at the page, but every now and then you can glance up to check what is actually being shown to the students on their screen. And you don't have to crane your neck around, or right now I've got this odd glare from the windows that I can hardly see what is actually being shown to the students on the screen. It's far more comfortable. You can maintain eye contact with the students whilst you're talking, which is a really great way to hold their attention. And in fact, that's one of the best benefits of using a visualizer, is that you're not constantly having to turn your back on a class whilst you're modeling an example. So those are the best things about this, the V1X visualizer. It's a wonderful visualizer. It's the best I've ever used. The image is crystal clear, and it's got all those extra features which make it so valuable in the classroom. Check it out with the links below. It's really great to have this little screen and you can just take a snapshot with one button, or start and end recordings without having to go through the menu. And of course you can flip through the different images that you've saved on the actual device without having a computer. You can show these with the picture-in-picture, and of course it has what you'd expect, its own light. This visualizer is as fully featured as they come. It has its own SD card slot, 2 HDMI, one in and one out, so you can even run a computer into it and have it as one of the output options, and a VGA in and out as well. The USB is there for attaching a mouse, and you've also got line in and line out for sound, and of course the AC power. And it folds away very neatly onto your desk.